Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hokip bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include bodies of 4 Kuki-Zo martyrs who were killed at Jiribam laid to rest at Martyr Cemetery last night. KSO General Headquarters condemns Sarambay Tingol and UNLF for illegally attacking BSF personnel and humiliating them on September 8. Morning. Defamed 5-point declaration and pleas to seal AR Camp Smart Kuki-Zo mass rally in Cedar Hills. News in details. On September 7, 2024, 4 Kuki Village volunteers, Lun Khuhau Haukip 34, Haugolin Dongal 27, Saimilin Khongsai 16, and Nieboy Thang Haukip 26 were murdered by Meitei militants in the Mongzang and Sizang areas of Jiribam. The bodies of the martyrs were taken to Silchar for post-mortem examination and were brought back to Lamka for burial yesterday, where the condolence program was conducted at night soon after the martyrs' bodies reached the KKL complex IB Road, Lamka. The Kuki community organized a memorial service to honor their memories. Tun Khanlal Langel, secretary of the KKL regional headquarters, Jiribam, Tamenglong Nonay, condemned the killing of the Kuki village volunteers who were defending their ancestral lands and urged the government to take action against the perpetrators. He says that the presence of Meitei militants, specifically the UNLF, was reported near Mongbung Kuki village, and on the following day, that is, the 7th of September, a much expected firing was reported, leading to the death of our 4 brave heroes. He also stated that the bodies of the martyrs were recovered through the police after repeated talks between the CSOs and the police. Zhang Mang Haukip, vice president of the Kuki INP Manipur, said the martyrs had given their lives for the sake of their community and that their sacrifice would not be in vain. He says that the whole community mourns with their families over their death. He also says that the name of all the martyrs shall be remembered in our history. He condoled the martyrs' family and asked them to stand strong and proud since their beloved sons or fathers or husbands died for the nation. After his speech, the Kuki INP and all its branches covered the martyrs with traditional souls. Kham Guite, speaking on behalf of the ITLF, condemned the killing of the Kuki village volunteers and urged the government to take action against the perpetrators. He also gave his respect to the 4 heroes. Kham Guite stated that the government had said that if the Kukis lay down their arms, peace will flow back in Manipur. But if the Kuki people lay down their arms, they will be annihilated in the hands of the Meiteis. He says that our forefathers had won over this land for us with their blood, and hence we must protect it at all costs, even with our blood if needed. The KSO General Headquarters also condemned the killing and urged the government to take action. JPO, Mar Village volunteers, Mizo Village volunteers, Mongbung and Sizang village leaders, and the martyrs' family also gave speech during the program. Reverend Onko Haukip led the burial ceremony at Second Martyr Cemetery. The 4 martyr youths who laid down their life for the cause of the people were welcomed by the villagers of different villages including Kaimai, Nalon, Kaprang, and other areas. The villagers of Hopum and Nungba also paid their last respects to the martyrs and also prayed for them. At the KKL General Headquarters complex, a condolence meeting was held, where the YPA paid floral tribute to the martyrs. The UJO, UTV, and other organizations also paid their respects with a gun salute. The martyr youths were laid to rest at the Martyr Cemetery in Sekien, Lamka. The program was conducted this morning at the wee hours and ended around 4:30 a.m. The 4 martyr youths are Lun Khuhau Haukip, 34 years, son of Hemtin Thang Haukip from Sizang village, Jiribam. Haugolin Dongal, 27 years, son of Hol Mang Dongal from Yangnom Pai village, Lamka. Say Minlin Khongsai, 16 years, son of Thang Tin Ngam Khongsai from Sizang village, Lamka, and Nieboy Thang Haukip, 26 years, son of Tong Khuzam Haukip from Mauzang village, Lamka. The Kuki Students Organization General Headquarters has highlighted since May 3, 2023, the rise of an armed militia called Arambay Tingol, which is masquerading as a Métis social and cultural organization. This group has played a significant role in the ongoing conflict between the Kuki-Zo and Métis communities. Despite these concerns, the government of India has largely ignored them, and the Biren Singlet Métis Manipur government has openly defended the militia. Recently, Arambai Tingle has strengthened its position by signing a memorandum of understanding with the surrendered United National Liberation Front (UNLF) Pambay faction, sharing a common agenda of annihilating the Kuki-Zo people. The KSO's general headquarters vehemently condemns the actions of the UNLF and Arambai Tingle towards the Central Security Forces at Suknu Bazar on September 8, 2024. Among the many untold or unreported illegal activities of Arambai Tingle and UNLFP, on September 8, 2024, at around 4:30 p.m., a large number of Arambai Tingle members and about 40 UNLF cadres armed in full combat gear overpowered the 131 Battalion BSF Jawans on duty while patrolling Suknu Bazar. They subjected the BSF personnel to humiliation in broad daylight in the open market to demonstrate their strength and power. The humiliation did not stop there. The UNLF commander even pulled out his pistol, pointed it at the BSF commander's forehead, and ordered him to kneel as a sign of submission to the UNLF and Arambai Tingle. He further warned the BSF commander not to side with the Kukis and threatened him with abusive words saying, "You Indian, go back, we don't need you." Moreover, around 23 of the BSF Jawans were paraded and made to stand in line, where they were slapped one after another by the Arambai Tingle and UNLF cadres in full public view. They simultaneously warned the BSF of being at the mercy of Arambai Tingle and UNLF in Manipur, and suggested that it would be better for them to align with their interests rather than allegedly siding with the Kukis. In a separate incident on September 9, 2024, a large group of Métis youth stormed the Deputy Commissioner's notice in Thoubal district during a protest. The youths removed the Indian national tricolor flag and hoisted the secessionist Métis flag Salaitorate in support of an independent Manipur. During the contronation, the CRPF convoy sent to control the situation was stopped and pelted with stones by the protesting students. Although the CRPF exercised restraint, some miscreants believed to be from the Arambai Tingle and UNLF alliance took advantage of the situation and snatched some magazine-filled ammunition from the CRPF Jawans. Unfortunately, these incidents were either not reported or underreported by state media. Simultaneously, the state government has refused to acknowledge the heinous crimes committed by the Arambai Tingle and UNLFP. Thousands of Kuki-Zo people flooded the streets of Kangpopi district headquarters today, protesting against the proposed removal of the 9 and 22 battalions of Assam Rifles from the conflict zones of Kangpopi and Churachandpur. Organized under the aegis of the Committee on Tribal Unity (COTU, the protest highlighted the committee's deep fears about the deteriorating security situation and the critical need for Assam Rifles to maintain peace. The mass rally began at Nute Kailhang in downtown Kangpopi and proceeded towards the Deputy Commissioner's office via National Highway 2. However, the protest was cut short when the DC received a memorandum addressed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the highway at Kangpopi Bazar. Protesters chanted slogans such as "Removing Assam Rifles is removing peace." Assam Rifles is the only neutral force, and Assam Rifles is the need of the hour. They also condemned Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh, referring to him as a symbol of terror, highlighting their distrust in the state government. Following the rally, the protesters gathered at Brigadier M. Thomas Grang, Kangpopi for a massive public meeting. They mourned the recent deaths of 4 Kuki-Zo volunteers killed in Jiribam on September 7, Ningzakhol Hungdim, who was killed in a bomb attack at Thangbu village, and ex-army personnel Lalboy Mate found killed at Sekmai earlier today. The meeting concluded with the community making a powerful 5-point declaration in response to recent violence and perceived injustices against the Kuki-Zo people. The 5-point declarations are: first, defending ancestral land. The Kuki-Zo community voted that its members would defend their ancestral lands, which they hold sacred with every drop of their blood. Second, equal retribution for attacks. The community pledged that any attacks on Kuki-Zo villages and people would be met with equal and fitting retribution, reflecting their commitment to protect their community against future aggressions. Third, opposition to the Manipur government. The Kuki-Zo people will resist and reject any policies implemented by the Manipur government, which they accuse of harboring hostility and attempting to marginalize the Kuki-Zo people politically, socially, and academically. Fourth, rejection of the Manipur government's 8-point demand. The declaration denounced the Manipur government's 8-point demand, which they view as detrimental to the survival of the Kuki-Zo community. They accuse the government of appeasing Meitei groups and at the expense of Kuki-Zo's safety. Fifth, demand for separation as a union territory. The Kuki-Zo community reaffirmed their demand for complete political and geographical separation from the Meitei community, seeking union territory status with its legislature.
The following declarations are issued for our people till posterity to come. Number one, the sons and daughters of the Kuki-Zo people will shed every drop of our blood to protect our land and go to us by our ancestors, which is sacrosanct and dear to our hearts. Number two, there shall be equal and fitting retributions for any act of incursions and attack made to our villages and people. There shall be no holding back henceforth. Number three, the government of Manipur has time and again demonstrated its explicit hostility towards the Kuki-Zo people, which is evident by its obtuse attempts to annihilate and incapacitate us physically, politically, socially, geographically, and academically. So the people will oppose and stop any activities or policies undertaken by the government of Manipur. Number four, the 8 points demand made to the governor of Manipur by M. Biren Singh-led government is identical to the survival and interest of the Kuki-Zo people, as it is done with the malified intention of appeasing the bloodthirsty Meitei mob and the Meitei secessionist forces, who are hell-bent and rending the geographical unity of India as under. Hence, the Kuki-Zo people will never accept this demand of the Manipur government, who are working hand in glove with the secessionist forces. We reaffirm and recommit to our people that the demand for total political and geographical separation from the bloodthirsty and sadistic Meitei in the form of Union Territory legislature is unflinching and non-negotiable. Hence, Kuki-Zo shall strain all nerve and skills and cohesively work together till this collective political goal of ours is accomplished.
This demand, they asserted, is unyielding and non-negotiable. In the memorandum submitted to Prime Minister Modi, the Kuki-Zo community vehemently opposed the removal of Assam rifles from conflict zones. They urgently requested intervention against the proposed withdrawal of the battalions, stressing the importance of Assam rifles in maintaining security amidst ongoing ethnic conflicts. The memorandum accused the state government, led by Chief Minister M. Biren Singh, of complicity in the violence against the Kuki-Zo community. It cited instances such as the state leadership's oath of allegiance to armed militias at Kangla Fort and their support for demands met through Kokomi, including the removal of Assam rifles from Kuki-Zo areas, highlighting the presence of valley-based secessionist militants, including VBIGs, UNLFP, and Arambai Tingol, allegedly backed by the state government. The memorandum urged that Assam Rifles is the only force experienced enough in counter-insurgency and guerrilla warfare to contain these threats. Replacing these battalions with other central security forces lacking such expertise, they warned, would leave the community vulnerable to increased violence. The Committee on Tribal Unity stressed that the Kuki-Zo community would be forced to take drastic measures to protect themselves if their security concerns are not addressed. The memorandum urged the Prime Minister to direct the Ministry of Home Affairs to reconsider the decision, emphasizing the urgent need for action to prevent further escalation of violence and ensure the safety of the Kuki-Zo people. In a bold move, the Kuki-Zo community announced that they would seal all Assam Rifles camp from September 10, demonstrating their unwavering stance on the issue and their commitment to safeguarding their rights and security. NG Lun Kipgen, spokesperson of KOTU, conveyed the Kuki-Zo community's dismay over the recent political maneuvers by elected representatives from valley constituencies who have demanded the preservation of the chief ministership post for N. Biren Singh. He described this as a well-choreographed political drama and accused the representatives of failing to take accountability for what KOTU referred to as an ongoing genocide program. He also criticized the 8-point charter of demands submitted by valley representatives to the union government, calling it a mere reaffirmation of their allegiance to armed militias, specifically the Arambai Tengo, whom they allegedly pledged allegiance to at the Kangla Fort in February this year. KOTU spokesperson urged the central government not to entertain the demands of N. Biren Singh and his allies, arguing that they have lost moral authority as constitutional representatives by aligning with armed militias. He emphasized that the current control over the Interagency Unified Command, led by Kuldeep Singh, must not be influenced by such demands.
Today, the 9th of September, the Kuki-Zo community are gathered here in this Thomas ground after our protest rally, where we had submitted a memorandum to the Honorable Prime Minister through our concerned Deputy Commissioner. So in our memorandum, we reiterate our stand that the majority Meitei community, a biased administration that is led by N. Biren Singh, is very much evident in yesterday's meeting at Imphal, where they have summed up a petition of 8 points where the command for Interagency Unified Command should be under the current dispensation. Mention be made that on February this year, this Meitei representative from all valley districts have succumbed to armed militia where they took the oath of allegiance. And in that allegiance, they have put all those points where Kokumi took the charge of presenting the case to the Honorable Prime Minister. Now, yet again, Biren Singh, with all his well-choreographed drama, have appealed to the Prime Minister yet again that unless the unified command is given to him, he would resign. And the Kuki-Zo community cannot be fooled. That's why we are gathered here, in the sense that in our memorandum, the removal of 2 battalions of Assam Rifle, that is the 9 and 22, will not be acceptable by the Kuki-Zo community. This is the main reason why N. Biren Singh has submitted that petition to the Prime Minister. Therefore, Prime Minister, please don't get into the narrative. Giving a command to him is a threat to our national security. And today we have declared resolution. One of the point is a closure of gates of all outposts of Assam Rifle from tomorrow. Today, the 9th of September, the Kuki-Zo community are gathered here.
highlighting concerns over national security. He appealed for direct intervention from the union government in the state's administration, stressing the need to ensure the safety and security of minority communities, including those other than the Kuki-Zo, who he claimed are vulnerable to exploitation and discrimination under what he described as a fascist and Meitei supremacy. The District Health Society National Health Mission Churachandpur observed the World Suicide Prevention Day 2024 under the theme Change the Narrative at the MS Conference Hall District Hospital on September 10, 2024 at 1:45 p.m. Dr. Tinglon Lei Thangloy, Medical Superintendent District Hospital, was the chief guest while Dr. NG Sian Boy Vai, Deputy MS, was the functional president. Dr. Jingao Mang, Senior Psychiatrist, and Dr. N. Thangin Mang, President CDA, were the guests of honor. Jen Ngai Lian, EISC DEIC, moderated the event, and the guests were felicitated with gifts. Dr. Zamlian Mangangte, DNO, National Mental Health Program, Churachandpur, delivered a welcome address and keynote speech. During the discussion, the guests highlighted the importance of mental health, citing factors such as social media, family conflicts, and peer pressure, which can lead to suicidal thoughts. They emphasized that women are more vulnerable to mental health issues due to societal expectations and pressures. The guests also stressed that it is essential to create awareness about mental health and to reduce stigma around mental illness. They encouraged the audience to prioritize self-care and seek help when needed. Dr. Zamlian Mangangte noted that awareness about mental health is crucial, and the lack of awareness can lead to untreated mental health issues. He emphasized that it is essential to create a supportive environment where individuals feel comfortable seeking help. The event concluded with a vote of thanks by Rebecca, psychologist, DEIC. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 800,000 people die by suicide every year, which is one death every 40 seconds. The majority of suicides occur in low and middle income countries. The National Suicide Prevention Strategy aims to reduce suicide by 10% by 2030. In 2018, the World Population Review reported that Sri Lanka had the highest suicide rate with 35.3 deaths per 100,000 people, followed by South Korea with 28.3 deaths per 100,000 people. The Kuki Students Organization Churachandpur District today successfully launched the first batch of SSC CGL Exam 2024 Aizol 3. 12 and 13 September examinee comprising of 122 students and 13 vehicles today morning at KSO Complex Tuibong. The occasion was led by M. Sekhugin Haukip, Education Secretary, KSO Churachandpur, with the briefing of the mission objective and flag off by T. Letminlin Haukip, President KSO Churachandpur, which was followed by a blessing prayer from Reverend Thangsei Haukip KBC B. Vengnom. The KSO Churachandpur received a total of 855 number of applications, both online and offline, of which 122 students departed today morning from KSO Complex Tuibong. The second batch will depart on the 15th of September 2024 for 17 to 19 September. SSC CGL exam and the last and third batch will depart on 21st September 2024 for 23rd to 26th September. Exams respectively. The project is undertaken for all aspiring candidates for the districts regardless of any tribe affiliations. KSO is positive that many aspiring candidates will come flying colors. At the same time, the organization extends its heartfelt gratitude to all well-wishers, including the cognate student bodies of the district. Despite the unfortunate and imbecile decision on the cancellation of the exam center in Churachandpur districts, aspirants are determined and obstinate to opt for the nearest exam center, that is Aizol, about 333 km approximately from Lamka town. The high traveling expenses, which is a ban for all aspiring candidates, especially the IDPs and economically weaker sections, is a matter of great concern. In light of these facts and to enable every aspiring candidates of SSC CGL examination 2024 to appear for the state examination, the KSO Churachandpur appealed to every stakeholders, well-wishers and members of the society to kindly contribute for this noble cause wholeheartedly. The district administration, Lamka, has once again distributed relief materials and rations to the internally displaced persons of the ongoing ethnic classes in the state. The relief materials were handed over to the relief in chairs at the mini secretariat Tuibong. 47 relief centers operating under the SDO Tuibong provide assistance to 7,170 individuals, and the following were handed over: 416.30 bags of rice, 81.40 bags of dal, 32.34 bags of potatoes, 20.15 bags of onions, 50 tins of mustard oil, and 20.36 bags of salt. Additionally, 7,267 pieces of eggs have been distributed. Under the SDO, Lamka 32 relief centers have been set up, providing assistance to 5,501 individuals, and the following materials were handed over: 324.85 bags of rice, 62.60 bags of dal, 24.30 bags of potatoes, 15.9 bags of onions, 38.40 tins of mustard oil, and 15.49 bags of salt. Furthermore, 5,573 pieces of eggs have been distributed. In the SDO Saikot, 7 relief centers have been set up, providing assistance to 1,074 individuals, and the following materials were handed over: 63.30 bags of rice, 12.20 bags of dal, 4.70 bags of potatoes, 2.90 bags of onions, 7.30 tins of mustard oil, and 2.90 bags of salt. Moreover, 1,089 pieces of eggs have been distributed. Under the SDO Singat, 4 relief centers have been set up, providing assistance to 889 individuals, and the following materials were handed over: 52.70 bags of rice, 10.10 bags of dal, 3.90 bags of potatoes, 2.60 bags of onions, 6.20 tins of mustard oil, and 2.60 bags of salt. Also, 899 pieces of eggs have been distributed. In the SDO Sangaykod, 4 relief centers have been set up, providing assistance to 816 individuals, and the following materials were handed over: 48.60 bags of rice, 9.30 bags of dal, 3.60 bags of the potatoes, 2.40 bags of onions, 5.80 tins of mustard oil, and 2.40 bags of salt. Moreover, 826 pieces of eggs have been distributed. The total assistance provided by the relief centers today include 905.75 bags of rice, 175.60 bags of dal, 68.84 bags of potatoes, 43.14 bags of onions, 107.70 tins of mustard oil, and 43.75 bags of salt, along with 15,654 pieces of eggs. The Indian Army Agniveer recruitment rally, which started on August 28, 2024 in Manipur, is currently underway in Lamka. The rally was conducted on Lamka on September 9 and 10 and includes physical efficiency test (PET) at the Peace Ground in Salbung, Lamka from 4 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. According to the headquarters recruiting zone, Northeast Silong, the recruitment rally includes physical and medical tests, and around 400 candidates are expected to participate. Earlier, recruitment rallies were held in Senapati from August 28 to 30, 2024 at the Sani Dari Sports Complex Karong for candidates from Senapati, Kangpopi, Ukhrul, and Kamjong districts. Another rally was held from September 3 to 5 at the Koirengge All Airfield for candidates from Infal East, Infal West, Taubal, Kakching, Bisnupur, None, Tamenglong, and Jiribam districts. The current rally in Lamka is for shortlisted candidates from Tengnoupal, Chandil, Lamka, and Firjol districts. The candidates participating in the current rally are those who passed the Common Entrance Exam CEE held in April 2024. A total of 1,768 candidates from Manipur passed the CEE, and they will undergo physical tests, medical tests, and document verification during the recruitment rally. The selected candidates will be enrolled in various trades including Agniveer General Duty, Agniveer Tradesman, Agniveer Clerk or Storekeeper Trade, and Agniveer Technical. The 20th edition of India-USA Joint Military Exercise Youth ABHYAS 2024 commenced on Monday at Foreign Training Note in Mahajan Field Firing Range, Rajasthan. Exercise Youth Abhyas has been held annually since 2004 between India Army and US Army, alternately in India and USA. This edition marks a significant increase in the scope and complexity of the joint exercise in terms of troop strength and equipment. The Indian Army contingent comprising 600 personnel is being represented by an infantry battalion of the Rajput Regiment along with personnel from other arms and services. The US contingent comprising of similar strength will be represented by the troops of 1 to 24 Battalion of the Alaska-based 11th Airborne Division of the US Army. Aim of the joint exercise is to enhance joint military capability of both sides to undertake counter-terrorism operations in a subconventional scenario under Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter. The exercise will focus on operations in the semi-desert environment. Tactical drills to be rehearsed during the exercise include joint response to a terrorist action, joint planning and combined field training exercises that simulate real-world counter-terrorism missions. Exercise Youth Abhyas will enable both sides to share best practice in tactics, techniques, and procedures of conducting joint operations. It will facilitate developing interoperability, bonhomie, and camaraderie between the two armies. The joint exercise will also enhance defense cooperation, further augmenting bilateral relations between the two friendly nations, said an official statement released by PRO Ministry of Defense. A 21-year-old student from the Indian Institute of Technology Guwahati IITG was found dead in his hostel room, said police, making it the fourth student dead at the prestigious institute this year. The death has sparked protests by students who are questioning the effectiveness of the institute's mental health and welfare support systems. The body of the male student, who hailed from Uttar Pradesh, has been sent to Guwahati Medical College and Hospital, GMCH, for a post-mortem examination. IITG is deeply saddened to report the loss of a student from our community. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the student's family, friends, and loved ones during this difficult time, an institute spokesperson said. We encourage our student community to reach out to our support networks. IITG reaffirms its commitment to fostering a supportive and safe environment for our students, the spokesperson added. Investigation in the matter is underway, a police officer said. IITG remains dedicated to prioritizing the mental health and well-being of our student community during these challenging times, the spokesperson further added. On August 9, a 24-year-old MTech student was also found dead in our hostel room. A stray ball hit a truck near Gujarat's Morbi town, causing the truck to ram into a car coming from the opposite direction, killing both drivers as well as the cleaner of the truck on National Highway 27, police said on Monday. The incident took place near Bandhunagar when Mahesh Singhar, 24, and Varun Vaskal, 28, were headed to Morbi on a truck, and Mahesh Malavia, 30, a resident of Morbi, was on his way to Surat with his wife and daughter, driving in a luxury car. His wife Suvida and the couple's 9-month-old daughter suffered serious injuries and were rushed to a hospital in Morbi and referred to another in Rajkot. They were reported out of danger on Monday morning, said B.M. Bagda, a police sub-inspector who has rushed to the accident site. Prima facie, all of a sudden, a stray ball came on the highway and in the way of the truck. The driver of the truck tried to avoid a collision but lost control of the truck. Therefore, the truck jumped the highway divider, hit Malavia's car, and landed upside down, leading to fatalities. N.R. Makwana, Morbi Taluka police inspector in charge, told the Indian Express, adding that the accident occurred at around 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. The Malavias were on their way to Surat to attend a ritual commemorating the death of the uncle of Malavia's wife, the PSI said. He added that the bull was also killed on the spot and that an entry into the police station diary at Morbi Taluka police station was made about the incident. Incidentally, stray cattle have emerged as a major problem in Gujarat in recent years, damaging standing crops, leading to fatal road accidents on highways, and attacking and injuring residents in cities. The CBI flagged several hurdles faced while investigating the Kolkata rape murder during a court hearing on Monday. The Central Probe Agency told the Supreme Court that it suspected key pieces of evidence had been lost amidst a demolition drive ordered by former RG Kar Medical College principal Sandeep Ghosh. There is a lack of evidence in this case. That is the reason why our detectives are unable to come to a conclusion. From circumstantial evidence, questioning of people and the DNA evidence do not show involvement of multiple persons in the sexual assault on the woman, the officer told PTI. CBI officials said they have been unable to join several dots after taking over the case from Kolkata police due to lack of evidence from the crime scene. Investigators said Ghosh had ordered the demolition of a restroom and a toilet close to that seminar room on August 10. Key pieces of evidence are suspected to have been lost amidst the demolition by PWD. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court also flagged a 14-hour delay by Kolkata police in registering FIR after the attack. Forensic tests have reportedly confirmed a match between the DNA of the victim and arrested civic volunteer Sanjay Roy. Separate DNA profiling on samples gathered from the victim and Roy and the DNA comparing with others seized evidence from the crime scene also corroborated the CFSL report. The evidence tampering allegations echo assertions made by the family of the victim over the past month. A video of the crime scene that went viral in August also showed the seminar room crowded with people soon after the body was found. It can be assumed that the entire scene was very carefully arranged. Going by the brutality of the crime, the scene could not be so, reports quoting the mother of the victim as saying. India on Monday reported its first confirmed case of traveler-related mpox or monkeypox in a young male who tested positive for a strain from Western Africa. The patient is in stable condition, the government has said, and is without systemic illness or comorbidities, having already been isolated over the weekend on suspicion of carrying the virus. There is no indication of any widespread risk to the public at this time, the government said. The government explained that testing had confirmed presence of clade 2 of the virus and that the particular strain is similar to 30 cases reported earlier in India from July 2022 onwards. The strain of infection, however, is not a part of the current public health emergency declared last month by the World Health Organization, which is regarded clade 1 of the mpox virus. A clade refers to a biological grouping that refers to all evolutionary descendants of a common ancestor, or in this case, a particular strain of virus. Earlier today, the Union Health Ministry issued directives to state governments review public health preparedness, particularly at health facility levels at the state and districts by senior officials. This would include briefing healthcare workers, especially those working in skin or STD, sexually transmitted diseases, clinics, about symptoms, differential diagnosis, and action to be taken following detection of mpox case. But it is crucial, the government also said, to guard against undue panic. Also, to ensure information about mpox and its common symptoms is available to the public, the government referred to the latest WHO update, which indicates that a majority of the patients are men aged 18 to 44 and present with rash, systemic or genital, followed by fever. And the most commonly reported mode of transmission, the government said, is sexual contact followed by person-to-person non-sexual contact. Last month, the WHO declared mpox a FIC or public health emergency of international concern based on the risk of spread of the current outbreak from beyond Africa, where a surge in cases has been reported from the Democratic Republic of Congo and other nations like Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. There is also a new strain from the DRC, scientists said. 5 cases have been reported from Pakistan's Peshawar, according to Geo News. Ukraine struck the Moscow region on Tuesday in its biggest drone attack so far on the Russian capital, killing at least 1 woman, wrecking dozens of homes and forcing around 50 flights to be diverted from airports around Moscow. Russia, the world's biggest nuclear power, said it had destroyed at least 20 Ukrainian attack drones as they swarmed over the Moscow region, which has a population of more than 21 million and 124 more over 8 other regions. At least one person was killed near Moscow, Russian authorities said. 3 of Moscow's 4 airports were closed for more than 6 hours and almost 50 flights were diverted. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters that the drone attack was another reminder of the real nature of Ukraine's political leadership, which he said was made up of Russia's enemies. There is no way that nighttime strikes on residential neighborhoods can be associated with military action, said Peskov. The Kiev regime continues to demonstrate its nature. They are our enemies and we must continue to the special military operation to protect ourselves from such actions, he said, using the expression Moscow uses to describe its war in Ukraine. Kiev said Russia, which sent tens of thousands of troops into Ukraine in February 2022, had attacked it overnight with 46 drones, of which 38 were destroyed. The drone attacks on Russia damaged a high-rise apartment buildings in the Ramenskoye district of the Moscow region, setting flats on fire, residents told Reuters. A 46-year-old woman was killed and 3 people were wounded in Ramenskoye. Moscow Regional Governor Andrei Voroboy said residents said they awoke the blast and fire. Georgi, a resident who declined to give his surname, said he heard a drones buzzing outside his building in the early hours. I drew back the curtains and it hit the building right before my eyes. I saw it all, he said. I took my family and we ran outside. The Ramenskoye district, some 50 km 31 miles southeast of the Kremlin, has a population of around 250,000 people, according to official data. More than 70 drones were also down over Russia's Bryansk region and tens more over other regions, Russia's defense ministry said. There was no damage or casualties reported there. As Russian advances in eastern Ukraine, Kiev has taken the war to Russia with a cross-border attack into Russia's western Kursk region that began on August 6 and by carrying out increasingly large drone attacks deep in Russian territory. Moscow and Kiev have both sought to buy and develop new drones, deploy them in innovative ways, and seek new ways to destroy them, from using shotguns to advanced electronic jamming systems. There was no immediate comment from Ukraine about Tuesday attacks. Both sides deny targeting civilians. Tuesday attack follows drone attacks Ukraine launched in early September, chiefly targeting Russia's energy and power facilities. Authorities in the Tula region, which neighbors the Moscow region to its north, said drone rockets had fallen onto a fuel and energy facility, but that the technological process of the facility was not affected. Students in Gaza have been deprived of a full academic year, and now the world is beginning a new school year without Gaza. The Palestinian Ministry of Education has said that a day before the school year starts, more than 600,000 Palestinian students are being denied learning opportunities. More than 85%, 477 out of 564 of Gaza's school buildings, public and private, have been destroyed by Israel's continued bombardment. The Israeli onslaught on Gaza has killed or injured more than 25,000 children, including 10,000 students. It has also destroyed 90% of the 307 public school buildings, the ministry said in a statement. Gaza universities are also in ruins. Education has long been high priority among Palestinians. Before the war, Gaza has a high literacy rate, nearly 98%. Access to education is a right despite the bombardment. The ministry is trying to launch e-learning opportunities or to even provide classes inside tents. Humanitarian workers say the extended deprivation of education threatens long-term damage to Gaza's children. Younger children suffer in their cognitive, social and emotional development, and older children are at greater risk of being pulled into work or early marriage. AP News Agency quotes Tess Ingram, regional spokesperson for UNICEF, the United Nations Agency for Children, as saying, "The longer a child is out of school, the more they are at risk of dropping out permanently and not returning," she said. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.